Hey guys, happy Monday. So, first of all, welcome to new subscribers. Um, for those of you who don't know me, so some of the stuff might just sound like it's really random. I am pretty random some days. There are days where I talk about a lot of nothing, but I made a commitment back in January when I decided to change my life that I would try to post every day. Although last week was a cluster heck because it was just so much going on last week. My daughter coming home, I haven't seen her in a year because she moved to China to teach English. So last week was kind of crazy. Just trying to find that, trying to spend time with her and do everything we wanted to do while her friend was visiting. Her friend that came down, she's known him since like kindergarten. They've been friends kind of off and on, off and on. Sometimes you lose touch with friends, stuff like that. They've dated a couple times, I think once in junior high, and then once early in her college career, I think her freshman year. And they broke up, and now officially they are back together as of middle of last week. She is moving to Connecticut in August, so I've only got her home for a month, but they will be coming down for Thanksgiving. We're talking about going up to Connecticut for Mother's Day weekend because my grandmother lives up there. Excuse me. Her boyfriend's mom, of course, lives up there. So rather than them feeling like they need to split their time on stuff, I would rather, when we can go up there, go ahead and go up there and visit. I did my 2 demos for working from home and teaching English to students online. So far, those have gone well. I was supposed to have a trial class this morning, and I was waiting for the class to load, and it didn't load, and I kept waiting for it to show up, and it kept showing the old class, and I would close out the system and reopen it, and it would still just show the old class. And I messaged them, and I was like, hey, I know you guys set me up for this class at 6:40 Eastern time tomorrow, but it's not showing up, and I have no way to prep for this class without seeing it. I said it's like 11:30 at night. I really need to go to bed. I said, so I'm going to be awake when I teach students. And I didn't hear back from them, and I kept reloading it. And then a little bit after 12:15, 12:20, I kind of went on, and I looked again, and I was like, well, it's still not on here, so what do I do? So I did what I could do, to prep by looking through different topics and like making sure I knew who all the characters in the videos were and stuff like that, and just different questions I could ask. When I got up this morning and came in here to set up to see if it was up so I could maybe practice a little bit before class, my classes were canceled, and she messaged me and apologized for them not loading, and told me she'd move me to Wednesday. So I feel much better about that. So I should have some classes for Wednesday popping up here soon so I can practice for that. I'm nervous about teaching live students, but I'm also excited because getting this job means that I will have a steady income to where when I do start health coaching, for those of you who don't know, I am going to school to become a health coach, mainly because my 100-pound weight loss in 6 months, almost 100 pounds. Everybody has a message of what are you doing? How do I do it too? And one of my friends said, you really should be charging me for this. And I said, yeah, I probably should just start charging people. And, but when you look into health coaches, they make between $500 and $1,000 a month per person. So they're charging people, and I don't really feel right about that. I feel like most people can't afford that. And the people who can't afford that, honestly, aren't the people who need the most help. And so I really wanted to be able to do it. And I mean, obviously I can't do it for free, but maybe work something out with somebody to where they can afford payments or something to help me help them better their life. And I know that if I can get a somewhat full-time income working from home, that allows me to be able to still have, Skype visits with clients, be able to have clients come to my house, into my office, and sit and work with them things like that. It'll just allow me to be able to do that and allow me to charge a much lower rate for people who can't afford a standard health coaching fee. Now, is $125 a week really that much for somebody who's going to spend a couple hours a week with you, working with you, helping you with your questions on food, and someone that's available pretty much 24/7 to text if you have a question? Probably not. I mean, if you look at them talking about minimum wage as being, they want it to be $15 an hour. That's only like eight hours. And basically what I've done, because I have started having a friend kind of be my dummy practice person, where I'm not really helping her per se, but I'm talking to her about different things. She's actually very thin and very vegan. And so, because I know people who want to be vegan or who are vegan will be my biggest challenge, because I'm not anti-meat completely. I shouldn't say I'm not really anti-meat at all. I eat whatever, whatever meat or not meat, it's up to you. I don't have any major personal opinions on meat as in eating it in general. There's just some issues I have with certain companies and what they do with getting that meat. But that's beside the point. Not going to get into that type of stuff because that's my personal stuff and I don't push that stuff on other people. But I've been kind of like playing out like, okay, give me a scenario, and she'll give me a scenario and I'll do the research. And I literally was spending 3 or 4 hours minimum doing research on certain topics. People, for her, people being her, but, in general, looking up recipe ideas and sharing shopping list ideas. And, if somebody's local, I can go to the grocery store with them and we can work on reading food labels and doing things like that. I think if I'm spending that much time with someone and helping them, there is some value to it. But same token, most people can't afford that. So I don't want to make it so that I'm doing all this work, but I'm not able to bring in any income. But at the same token, I don't want to charge people such an exorbitant amount that they can't afford it, that it prohibits them from having the ability to make a difference. And like I said, a lot of stuff I'm going to share here. I do have a Facebook group called Going All the Way to Health Coaching, where I share information, and I share great recipes and stuff that are more healthy options of things. And that's kind of where I'm starting things at with that, as far as information being shared. But that's what's going on in my life. So I'm excited that the option that, by doing this at home teaching, it does give me a lot more freedom in my schedule. And it also will let me go back to school and become a nutritionist, certified nutritionist. And that will kind of open up a lot of doors. And, give me some options of some places that I can work in, like standalone buildings. Or it might open up to be able to work in gyms or what have you. But I'm really looking forward to these opportunities that are kind of coming out of me just changing my life a little bit. When I started in January, I didn't know who I was, where I was going, what I wanted to be when I grew up, even though I've apparently been legally grown up for quite some time. It's whatever. But yeah, so I'm going to share some of the prep for our dinner last night and the final result, and then I'll come back and talk to you a little about the recipe.
Okay, so this is 1 cup of basil. So I'm going to get 1/4 total. In here, I have half a lemon, juice of half a lemon, and I have 3/4 of a cup of parsley to make the chimichurri. Okay, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of onion to that. We're going to add 1/3 of a cup of avocado oil. The recipe calls for olive oil, but I prefer avocado oil. We're also going to add a clove of garlic, a pinch of red pepper flakes, pinch of salt, pinch of pepper, and then we're going to run this, and that'll be the chimichurri. So this is the stuff for the skewers. This is zucchini, squash, and swordfish. They had it on sale at Fresh Market. It also has 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar, a quarter of a cup of avocado oil, a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, half a lemon juice, juice of half a lemon, and a quarter of a onion chopped up. And then you just put it in here and let it marinate for about 15 minutes. Stick it on some skewers and stick it on a griddle. These are the pre-cooked skewers. Got the swordfish and zucchini. And we're going to put them on the griddle until they're cooked. And we're also going to make a fresh carrot salad that is not cooked and is raw. And that will be delish. Okay, so now we are going to do a carrot salad. We're putting in equivalent of 4 because we're making 4 servings. Large carrots peeled and shredded. 4 tablespoons of raisins. 4 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. A pinch of salt. And we'll let that set until the skewers are done. And that will be our healthy dinner. So here's the finished plate. And we got the skewers with the chimichurri on top. And then we've got the raisin and carrot salad with the apple cider vinegar. And that is our meal. And I'll talk in my video a little bit more about the health benefits of the foods and where we got the fiber and all of that, because carrots are a high fiber food. And then, of course, there's a lot of protein in the fish. And then, of course, you got the vegetables. Really great, healthy meal.
Okay, so that was our dinner last night. And I wanted to go over some of the benefits of what we made for dinner because honestly, it was a lot of food. I did not finish the whole meal that was on my plate, which is what you saw at the end. I had 3 ounces of swordfish, approximately 6 to 8 ounces of zucchini, and then I had a cup of carrots with 1/8 of a cup of raisins because we did 4 people with 1/4 of a cup of raisins in the salad. Sorry, guys. I've been outside so much more lately that now my allergies are just killing me. But I'm really, since I've started losing more and more weight, I've really enjoyed being outside and getting out of the house more. 100 pounds less or almost 100 pounds less is kind of nice. I'm not hating being out in public as much. Do people probably still stare at me because I'm still fat? Yeah, probably. But it doesn't bother me much because I know where I've come from. So I'm not quite as offended by people staring at me. But anyhow, moving on. So the carrots, for the amount that I had on my plate, was approximately 45 calories. Sodium was 76 milligrams. It was 352 grams of potassium. Carbs was 11. Of that, 3.1 grams was dietary fiber, and 5 grams was sugar. Now, if I'm going to do an episode at some point about reading labels and the things that they hide in labels, that when you're trying to eat healthier, because I don't believe in dieting, I believe in eating healthier. So you don't have to make like a whole full life change. You can start with changing just 1 meal a day and it can change everything. But a lot of times with the carbs, when you're trying to figure out how much sugar you're actually getting, and obviously sugar from vegetables is different than eating like a sugary cereal, as far as some of that sugar is going to process different in your body. But fiber is really important in your digestion process. But what you normally do to figure out the total amount of sugars that are going into you is taking the carb count and deducting the fiber. And that'll give you a basic sugar number to work off of. So if you are someone who needs to monitor your sugars, that is the best way to read a label. Is take the carbs, subtract the fiber. And that gives you an idea of the sugars that are going into your system. Now, obviously, when it says like added sugar, that's when you really want to get concerned and put down the box and walk away. Because nobody should need to add sugar to something as far as a food prep. And obviously, food that's closer to its original state is way healthier for you than the stuff in a box that's been processed. But not everybody, I've been super lucky in that I'm really good at finding sales, and I freeze a lot of stuff when it goes on sale so that I can have it for future recipes. so it saves us a bunch in our budget. And I did a video like 2 weeks ago about budget shopping for healthy eating, because we, sometimes just don't have the extra money, and we just still have to find a way to get the healthier foods. Because I'm not even going to take a week where I'm not in the back of my mind thinking everything I do is going to affect this weight loss process. But anyhow, back to this. So the carrots are 45 calories. The raisins were 54 calories. And now the raisins have the highest sugar count because that was 10.7 grams of sugar. The swordfish was 146 calories. And that one is really, swordfish is really high in potassium. So are carrots. In this meal, I got almost 800, I think it's grams of potassium, which is great. If you're someone who gets headaches, like I do, I get cluster headaches, potassium is a great thing to have in your diet. It's decreased my headache, occurrences immensely by increasing my potassium levels. And also the zucchini, which was 29 calories. So also allowing for the amount of avocado oil that would have gotten into the food from the chimichurri and from the marinade for the swordfish and zucchini. That whole entire meal came to 374 calories. The total amount of sodium was 174, with most of it being naturally occurring sodium. Now, there is a difference between having salt like that you use from your salt shaker and the salt that naturally occurs in growing food. It doesn't necessarily process exactly the same in your system. And I know all this stuff is super confusing, and honestly, when I started in January, when I would read stuff like that, I'd be like, what does that mean? And honestly, it's just something you just kind of figure out as you go along. Like, there is no... I wish there was like a magic wand. You just go poof, and everything made sense, and it never does. I learn something new every day. I learned something new about myself, about my food, about what I like and don't like. The one really weird side effect about weight loss for me has been certain fruits and vegetables that before were no way, don't like them, just the smell of them made me feel sick. I now love those foods. Like, as I've increased, I try a new food every week. So when we go to the grocery store, I'll be like, I've never had this before. And I will be like, you know what, let's get this. And we'll try something new. Like, we might only buy one of the fruit, and we'll cut it up and split it amongst us to try it. And honestly, my husband, I think, has no taste buds, because even if I hate it, 90% of the time he loves it, or he's okay with it, and he's like, I'll take yours. The worst part is that sucker's gone down like 4 peanut sizes since we started this. He was never big, but now he's just getting downright skinny. I'm like, you know what? It's not fair. But anyhow, yeah, so we try a new fruit or vegetable every week. This week we actually have purple Brussels sprouts. I don't know if there's a difference in them, but they looked cool and they looked a little bit different, so we decided to try them. My daughter and I are making Buddha bowls for lunch today, and I'm kind of nervous because it's been a long time since I've had oranges. But I've been trying to find oranges that are definitely non-GMO, that are organic, and I did find some finally, so I grabbed one. And now I'm going to have an orange for my lunch, and I'm kind of excited and nervous. And yes, we're going to see how that goes today with having Buddha bowls for lunch. And so we try something new every week. It's been interesting because there has been times where I've gotten something and it is so bad to me. I'm just like, nope. My son doesn't really participate because he's very particular on food. Again, because he's autistic, it just is what it is. But my husband will pretty much try anything and really will eat anything unless it's really horrific. I keep threatening to get him one of those stinky fruits, the durians, to see how he'd handle that, but they're so expensive, and I'd really like to try one, honestly, because I have friends that really like it. My daughter had it in China, does not like it. But I would really like to get one so we could try it, but I'm like, I want to spend all this money on it. That's like the one thing he will not eat. And plus it's always, that's a that's a someday try it thing because here it's just so expensive. Maybe if we get a chance to go to Asia and visit, we'll buy one there because at least there they're plentiful and they're natural there, and they're from those those areas. So we thought about growing a durian tree because we saw a thing online where you could buy a seed for a tree, and I'm like, yeah, we'll be growing durian and we'll finally get durian out of the tree in like 10 to 15 years. So we were like, nah, let's not invest in a tree we don't know if we like the fruit before we know if we like the fruit. But yes, I mean, there was so much food on that plate. I ended up leaving like 3 or 4 pieces of zucchini and maybe 2 spoonfuls, 3 forkfuls of carrots on my plate. Just because I got so full. Fiber is very filling. Fiber-rich foods are hugely filling for me. I know with the last week, and like I said, I'm honest with you guys. I don't mix and match. I don't, whatever. But I literally looked at my daughter last night and said, okay, enough of you trying to catch up on everything you've missed from America. I got to go back to eating healthy because we have not eaten 100% great this last week. It's been a lot of running around, taking her places, taking her and her boyfriend places to go see so he can be kind of a tourist. I live in Southwest Alabama, so we're near the Gulf Shore. And so we drove into Biloxi, Mississippi to go see that area. We've taken him down by the beach, stuff like that. So we have not been eating super healthy. I've been getting most of my water in every day. But we just haven't been eating healthiest because she wants to go to all these different places. And some places just don't have super healthy food, and we're out running around. I still need to eat. So I'll do the best I can. Try to go with the lowest calorie I can find in certain places. But like when she wants to go to Taco Bell, really? So generally I just get kind of a snack when we're there, and then I'll come home and eat something different. But I told her, I said, okay, I gotta eat better now. I just gotta stop this. This is not working for me. But so I am back on the saddle of I'm not eating junk places anymore again. Like, with her coming home, I mean, I've just been super stressed out too, which does not help your weight at all. Because at the end of the day, stress makes your digestion slow, and then your body absorbs more junk than it needs to. And I'm not interested in doing that anymore. So anyhow, guys, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm being random again, and this video is way more than long enough. So hope this recipe helps. I will post below all the ingredients just so you can get them. And I got it off of, let me find the recipe here. Let's see if I can figure out where I got it. It's a Food Network recipe. So it's really good. It was really delicious. And I highly recommend if you're someone who likes something like swordfish. But you don't have to use swordfish. You can use any kind of white fish. But they didn't have any cod or haddock or anything like that. The one thing to keep in mind is swordfish is a fish that does tend to be higher in mercury levels than other fish. So if you're somebody who's sensitive to anything like that, you don't want to do swordfish. But it was on super sale, and we decided to go swordfish direction. So tonight we're making salmon, and I will video that for you guys too. I probably won't post that tomorrow. I'll probably do a chat video tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday I'll do the salmon meal. So see you guys tomorrow. Bye.